I am Karen Kellock, and the basis of this channel is what causes mental illness? And the answer is other people. Behind me is a very nice scene of happy, joyous day. That's the way healthy-mindedness should be. Happy. What causes the opposite of that? Somebody coming over and raining on your parade, asking questions that are none of their business, judging you, something like that. It eclipses your personality. It puts a cloud over the day. Other people. We want to stay happy. So that's what this channel is all about. Traditionally, they looked at mental illness as something happening inside the person, something wrong with them. But in the new psychology, we look at it as adaptive to a system. You have a sick system, and the person adapts to that. His maladaptive style is his neurosis or his mental illness. Man adapts to his environment. Human ethology. Just as they would study an animal in the wild, adapting to his environment, we look at people the same way. It's his style. There were psychologists who took videos of people interacting from the same culture, and they slowed it way down and blew them up in big pictures and put them on the wall. And they saw that from eye blinks to posture, people were in a microscopic social dance in perfect synchrony. Eye blinks, posture, everything, synchrony. That's the bell-shaped curve. Most people, what I'll call the herd, are like that. And then if you have somebody who is like a genius or has not adapted, that he is independent of thought, comes into that system, they orient. It's novel, and they judge him. The frontal cortex will judge anything different from the social dance, the microscopic social dance, which is the true meaning of culture. Let's say that you adapt to your early system, and then you leave the system and you grow up, you become independent. If you were to go back into that system, it's really going to hurt, because all of the variables have changed, and they're going to be judging you and labeling you. It's very hard to maintain your selfhood, your true selfhood, your independence in a noxious system like that, a toxic system. Now let's look at another aspect of this. The most important thing in maintaining your true self in a world of differences, where there's almost a conspiracy against individuation or genius, is boundaries. You must have very strong boundaries. But trauma implodes boundaries. If you've been in some sort of a trauma with people or whatever, you lose your boundaries. You become porous, and then the evil world flows in, and then you become even worse. This happened to me in my early life. I was extremely traumatized by a divorce. I went to live in a small town, and I didn't have any boundaries. People kept coming over. They wanted to come over and come into my house. I should have said no, but they did. And I was very badly influenced by the whole thing and got worse and worse and worse. Trauma implodes boundaries. It's very important. I was taught to be a good hostess. I was not taught to tell people not to come in, to shut them out, to have high boundaries, to maintain my happy day, like this back here. I was taught to be a good hostess, and they ruined my life. That's a very good example of how, if you don't keep your boundaries, despite trauma, it will get worse and worse. It's like with alcoholism, falling in with lower companions. Then your disease just gets worse and worse. Another example of a system is where you have a narcissist who's an opportunist, a taker. He just wants to get supply, that's all. That fits perfectly with an empath who is a giver and a lover and just keeps thinking the more I give him, maybe he'll grow up, maybe he'll mature if I give him more. And they're locked into a system that gets worse and worse because the narcissist will not change, and that brings the self-esteem of the giver and the empath down further, and then they need the narcissist more, so they give more, and it degrades from there. Another example of the differences in temperaments of people. You can look at the ectomorph, a very skinny body type, and versus the more action-oriented muscular type or the fat type. The skinny type is called the ectomorph, and his temperament is called cerebrotomia. He prefers being alone. With trouble, he prefers solitude to deal with trouble. Now, of course, it doesn't always act this way, but usually the soma type goes with the temperament. Then you have the more muscular type. His reaction to trouble is action, taking action. Then you have the ectomorph. His temperament is viscerotomia. His reaction to trouble is to be with a bunch of people. Social. A totally different way of reacting to the world. And I am definitely a cerebrotomic. I prefer solitude. I want to be alone. I love being alone. That's when I'm happy, like back here. And when I have to adapt to people, it's like a gray cloud. I hate to say it, but it's true. And it took me until I was middle-aged to realize that about myself. It's very important to understand yourself. If you want to be alone, you have got to put that as your top priority. It's like I go deeply into the right brain. I see how everything connects together. I go deep. I see things. And a person like that sees reality totally differently than other people. And they will react to that. Most people in the herd see reality very superficially. They take their adaptation as the only reality, which explains the fights between groups, because they're fighting a reality battle. And if you go deep, you just don't react the same to anything, and people will react to that. So these are a few of the points we will explore. I love being alone, and it's okay to be alone. I'm a cerebrotomic, and it makes me happy. And I believe many people out there want to be alone, but they have been taught since World War II that social is best, that we're supposed to have a bunch of friends, and that we're judged by how well we do in the eyes of others. We seek approval madly because of this. We think if we don't have friends, we're inferior, that we're hideous. We have a hideous image if we want to be alone. I say it's superior, and it's a mark of a genius. I have to say it's paradise living your own life. Not being a pincushion anymore, but being in control for once. And I bought a ranch way out in the country. I have a fence and a locked gate, and it is heaven. I get up at midnight. I work all night. My hours are my own. I see who I want to see. I don't maladapt to or react to the world. I create my own reality. Living out in the country is wonderful. But let's say you relocate out to the country, and then somebody comes and wants to rent one of your little cabins on your property, and they're a narcissist. All of a sudden, a big black cloud comes over your paradisiacal reality. It's a matter of who's around. It's a matter of how much you're in control, not really a matter of where you live. You have to be in control. And if you're an independent thinker, a deep thinker, that's the way you have to be. And I think a lot of you want to be alone. You too may be cerebrotonics. You want to be alone, but you can't. You haven't recognized that in yourself yet. That's a big step, and you have to do it. And then you spend every moment creatively. You fulfill your destiny. You do what God wants you to do, not what other people want you to do. And, you know, we only have so many minutes in our lives, so many hours, so many days. Spend every moment the way you want to. And then everything will just be flamboyant and wonderful, and it will flourish. That's the way to be. I married a man who enjoys solitude just as much as I do, and we're not threatened by that in each other. We understand it. And I once read that a marriage of two saints is where they both have solitude, but they protect each other's solitude. So you have the protection of a mate, but you have your true self. That is the way to do it.